There's an argument to be had here. I had gloves on, but when I was goalkeeping on, that was the question.
And we've got all this stuff. It's like a Alex Smithies bedroom here.
I think it is. I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure it is, right?
Different colours, I think.
My wife was in the crowd and she was sat with my parents and she didn't realise that goalkeepers could take penalties. No, it was never my intention to leave. Certainly not at that point. I thought I'm probably not going to spend my entire career here. Fraser's on the referee, and before you know it, the entire stadium is booing me. I'm thinking, cheers, Fraser. It's not under the cosh, is it? No. If I'd have sorted my feet out, it was there for me. The ball was a yard above my head. Because I'm used to catching it. And he came out and called me Toblerone head after it. He's not far off. Yeah, he wasn't wrong either. Barney came up with this brilliant idea, not Chris Markham, about
Hello everybody, welcome to Talk of the Town, presented by SBK. You must be 18 plus, please gamble responsibly. I'm delighted to be joined as ever by Fraizer Campbell. Yep. Fraser, the last time I saw you, you were not wearing a tracksuit, you were in an actual suit.
I was wearing a suit, yeah.
At Sinsel Bank, or the Al Stadium as it is now.
Yeah, there was penguins about, it was freezing, but I had my suit on. But they did offer me a blanket, which was nice of them.
You're obviously there for Town game,
yeah.
With your uncle in the director's box. I don't know how you managed to get yourself in there.
Well, neither do I, to be honest, because when he said, do you want to go to the game, I presumed it was in Huddersfield, because that's where we were. I didn't expect to be in a car for an hour and a half going to Lincoln, so yeah, that was a shock to my system.
It wasn't the worst result for us there, but it was a cold day, and being in a suit and not being prepared for it.
I don't remember anything about the game, to be honest. I was frozen. I think I had the frostbite or whatever, but no, it was what it is. They were a good team. But yeah, it was what I remember from the game is that it was really cold.
Premier League and England international Fraizer Campbell's never played at Lincoln, has he?
I know. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been to Lincoln.
I don't think
I've even driven through Lincoln.
It's nice cathedral.
Apparently so, yeah.
Next time you go,
yeah.
Go have a day trip.
Only if it's in the summer, maybe. It's cold over there, isn't it?
It's cold, mate. We're from Huddersfield. It's cold.
Yeah, but this is my cold.
This is true.
That was a foreign cold. I didn't like it.
Foreign cold.
Can I say that?
Who knows what you can say anymore? We'll edit it out. We're used to that. Were you on here, mate? We've got Alex Smithies on today. People can probably tell from this nice spread we've got in front of us.
This is not a normal read, is it?
No. We looked for Fraizer Campbell stuff, but we couldn't find any.
It's sold out everywhere.
You've got it all. You bought it all. Alex, obviously a goalkeeper. Before he comes on and talks about his time at Town and QPR and wherever else and Cardiff, similar sort of clubs to you, actually. What's your experience throughout your career of goalkeepers and all that sort of stuff? Because you'll have played and trained with some absolutely unbelievable ones.
Goalkeepers are a different breed, I think. It's weird, like I've said before, goalkeepers, when you first start playing football, it's for the moments of glory, scoring in a Champions League final or whatever. You dream about stuff like scoring goals. You never really dream about, oh yeah, I'm going to stop someone scoring. It's not really exciting, is it? So I always have my questions about goalkeepers. They're like anti-football, if you would call it that, because they're trying to stop all the good stuff from happening. And why would you want to do that?
Can't play the game without them, though, can you?
No, you can't. But I would never put myself in net because, it's against everything that I enjoy. If really. But and I think that's probably why goalkeepers they're always together. Goalkeepers union they call it, and they're all a bit of, not all of them. I'd say 98% of them are. You can check that fact. Check that stat. Are a bit out there. Yeah, should we say?
Is there anyone that sticks out from your career at all as somebody you particularly got on with, or was incredible to watch in training and games? And
I think. So obviously keepers that I played with, Lee Nichols here at Town, I got on well with him, and he's a pretty normal guy. Yeah, he's easy to get.
He's about as normal as you get for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Obviously Alex he's a normal guy-ish, and then I think the one that Joe Hart is probably the one that I came across a lot in youth games, and we're in the same England team, and he's pretty normal as well. So I've come across a few normal ones.
Strange
but
ones?
They're rare, like unicorns. Very rare.
Who's the strangest one you come across?
Well,
you played with Aurelio Gomez.
Well, that was what I was going to say. He never kicked the ball. He used to just throw it. Yeah. Like one of them old school.
But it was like 50-odd yards he would throw it.
No, he could throw it really far, but you think you'd practice to kick the ball. You're a footballer. He was so anti-football. He wanted to just use his hands all the time. But one of the greatest human beings that I've ever met.
Yeah.
But yeah, odd. Why would you not kick the ball? Just throw it all the time. And
how is it when you've got that relationship with them behind the scenes where you're training against them every day, they're getting to know your little quirks and where you're wanting to go? Is there anyone, obviously probably the ones that weren't very good, but was there any that you enjoyed training against or testing yourself against?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was just a daily challenge. You got ones from a youth team like Tom Eaton, for example. You want to score against them, but they're the ones you spent most time with, and they know you. So it was, to score against them, you had to be putting on your best display. I remember playing the first team, and Van der Sar was there, and obviously he's a Man United legend. So it was. Yeah, thank you. Put with the rest. got a few more coming out. Get ready. He's obviously top keeper, so scoring against him was a real achievement. And like I said before, Joe Hart. Joe Hart was in my England team, and after, when we was leading up to tournaments, we'd take penalties after every session. So you might take 4, 5, 6 penalties. And obviously after the first one, he don't know where you go in. The second one, he knows where you've just been, and then the pressure just builds. So you had that. That banter, he's trying to get in my head, I'm trying to get in his head. So it was, I had a real good relationship with Joe in that sense. But yeah, for me, it was just a daily challenge to try and score against a keeper that knew you pretty well.
Alex, obviously another Huddersfield lad, he scored one of the most memorable penalties in our history at Wembley, which we'll obviously talk to him in more detail about. Were you a penalty taker in your career? Were you designated? No,
I was always of the thought, like for me, I hated penalties. Not because of the pressure or anything, but I just hated the fact that if we were in a game situation during play and I went through against a keeper, he wouldn't just dive one way. He'd try and react to my shot. If he jumped out of the way, then I'd just put it in the other corner. But in a penalty, they just guess. And I hate someone's guess can be right. Like you could hit a sweet penalty and he's just guessed the right way and saved it. Or you could slip and scuff one and he's just guessed the wrong way and it just trickles in. So I'm a logical person and it made no sense to me. Obviously you can practice and, like Harry Kane takes great penalties and, he reproduces the same penalty over and over again. But for me, I just hated the fact that the keeper could get one over me just by pot luck.
So did you not train them or practice them?
I practiced them, but because most teams I was in, they had someone that wanted to take them. Usually it's someone put their hand up and say, yeah, I'm on penalties. Yeah, fine. The goal didn't really bother me. It was, who was the most confident at the time to take the penalty. And if that happened to be me, I'd have taken it. But if somebody else wanted it, I was never going to fight someone over a penalty.
Did you mainly take them in shootouts then, or did you take any in game?
I took one here at the stadium because nobody else wanted to take it. And we was playing Millwall at home, and it was cold and it was wet. And I looked at the penalty spot, and it was just boggy, and I thought, here we go. So I put the ball down. So then already as I'm walking back, I'm in my own head thinking, I need to plant my foot properly here, because if I don't, it's going to slip and I'm going to miss it anyway. I went up. My run up was slower than normal, and I've hit it, and the keeper's gone the wrong way, and I thought I've done him here, but I've hit it too high. It's hit the bar and gone over. I think we got beat 1-0. That's my career in penalty taking.
I didn't know about that, which is why I asked you.
Yeah. Loaded gun. I knew it was loaded. So.
We're gonna speak to Alex and his career and everything, but we'll talk about the time that you guys spent on the pitch together as well. But it's strange that two lads from Huddersfield, similar sort of age, similar sort of careers, you didn't actually cross paths as much as people might think.
No, yeah, it is strange, but that's just football. His journey started off here, mine had to start elsewhere, and it takes you down different roads, different avenues, even though we've been at the same club, but in different periods when teams are in, different leagues or whatever. It is bizarre when you take a step back and look at it, but it's just a reality of football.
Without further ado, we'll be joined by Alex Smithies. Alex, welcome home, mate. Thank you for joining us. How long has it been since you last visited HC1?
Not been invited back for 10 years. I think this is the first time in a while.
It's usually how it goes.
No, I think I came to the playoff games when Jordan scored in the last minute. To get to the final. That was probably the last time I've been here, but yeah. Don't get invited back too often, so I've jumped at this chance.
You've got a long history here, obviously. You're academy graduate before you went and had a fabulous career elsewhere. Similar to Fraser, being a local lad and being from here and playing for the club, how much would that mean to you?
It was amazing, class at the time. Because you're so proud, you know. Friends in the stand, family coming to all the games, used to come as a kid, so it was dead exciting at the time. And to go on to play the number of games I did, I never expected, but I sort of moved away and moved on to different things and didn't really think about it. It's only now since I've retired that I look back and think, oh yeah, I'm dead proud that I've done that. Moved back to the area and people want to talk about it, so get invited to do things like this. So look back fondly on the time.
Yeah, it's not been long since you retired and packed it in, and Fraser's done the same as well. How are you spending your days? Fraser just says he taxis his kids around.
Yeah, a lot of that, a lot of paddle, a lot of golf, evening league cricket, anything.
Wicketkeeper?
I'm not actually, no.
Oh.
No, I'm not. I'm not anything other than a social player, to be honest.
You don't fancy playing a bit of local football?
No.
Cameron Jerome's at Newsham. You fancy? Can get you in. You have to go on trial or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I get in the team at the minute, to be honest. Yeah, no, my knee's not great, and paddle really hurts, but I just love it. But I don't know if I love football and diving around in the mud all day as much as I used to do, so I save sort of any energy for that.
When's the last time you put a pair of gloves on?
There's an argument to be had here. I had gloves on, but when I was goalkeeping on, that was a question. So I finished at Leicester.
Yeah.
I had 2 years at Leicester. I was like the third choice goalkeeper, which was a great gig at the time. I had Brendan Rodgers as the manager, then Dean Smith, and I loved my time there. And if my knee had held out, you know, I think I'd still be there because I really enjoyed it. I got on great with him, and then Enzo Maresca came in, and it turns out they want you to train every day. I didn't sign up to that.
The third choice keeper's really good gig, isn't it? Like you see Carson at City, you know, winning everything, and he's just travelling around the country. Probably has weekends off, does his own thing. Yeah. I think there is definitely a place for it, and it's something I never considered at the start of my career. Yeah, you don't.
And back end of my career when I left Cardiff, those were the offers that I was getting. I was thinking I'm going to have to go for it. So,
fantastic.
You know, it was great training ground. It was just going in and enjoying it, and I was never really going to play. I played a few pre-season games and things, but it was just stress-free. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Your own gym.
Yeah. Sponsored Keep Fit. Yeah.
Gym.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Class.
You've tried that a few times.
Yeah, I've been trying. Not having none of it.
You're into paddle as well, aren't you?
I am, yeah. We're just comparing injuries. I've got a shoulder injury that's keeping me out at the minute.
You've got to have a pre-made excuse in paddle.
Yeah. It's not good, is it, taking 4 paracetamol before?
I think that's just normal at your age. Yeah. Obviously, the highlights of your time here with the playoff final, we've got all this stuff. It's like a Alex Smithies bedroom here.
I think it is. I'm not sure it is. Raj.
Different covers, I think.
Different covers. We'll leave that alone, Fraser.
Yeah,
but you know that time of your career and winning a penalty and everything. How do you look back on that now? Because that must be one of the best things you can ever do in your life.
Yeah, I don't look back loads, but whenever I can cram scoring the winning penalty at Wembley into a conversation, I usually try and do so. Clearly, that's like the highlight of my career at Huddersfield. Of just putting the ball down and seeing my mates behind the goal, thinking, what is going on here? Why am I taking a penalty at Wembley? So, amazing celebrations. I think we were out for about 2 weeks after it. It was just class. And then getting into the Championship at an early age and playing those games and kicking on, it was like it was a big moment because I'd been out injured for like 11 months the first time I did my knee, and sort of coming back for that game was just amazing. It was like all that hard work I put in to get back. Finally, you know, if we'd have lost that game or if we'd have missed, I don't know where my career would have gone because I was I'd been low for so long, and then to have a highlight like that, I really kicked on after that.
It's really interesting because that entire shootout was crazy. I think it finished 8-7 or something crazy like that. Nobody could score, then everyone was scoring. What's that like to be as a keeper in the middle of that?
No, I think goalkeeper is the easiest. It's the easiest gig in a shootout. You can no one's expecting much of you, and if you save one or two, then great. But when we'd missed our first three, I think that's right. Thinking, it didn't look too promising, this, does it? And then everyone just kept scoring. Managed to keep us in it early on, and then all the lads that weren't down for the initial 5, everyone scored down to me and Simo, the other goalkeeper. So pretty bizarre moment. But yeah, there was no stress for me really at that point. I was more nervous for the game than I was the shootout, because I was thinking I've got a pretty good record with penalties. I fancy my chances to save a couple, and just never thought I'd have to take one.
Do you remember watching it all? Because I remember where I was when I was watching it, because I had a Saturday or Sunday job at that point, and I couldn't watch it physically, so I had it on the radio on the train.
I can't remember. When was it? 2012? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. God knows.
Well, my wife was in the crowd, and she was sat with my parents, and she didn't realise that goalkeepers could take penalties.
She's like, what's he doing?
She's genuinely saying, "What is he doing? What is he doing?" She thought he's done his bit. He saved a couple. She didn't realise. Yeah.
Have you taken one since?
No, I've been down to take one in a shootout for League Cup games and stuff, but
within the first 5?
Yeah. When I was at
You've been just sticking your hand up ever since then.
I just think it's a goal kick, and you just hope that the ball gets in the way.
Just block everything else out. Right, I'm just trying to hit this in channel.
You obviously after leaving town, you had an amazing time at QPR and Cardiff as well, in higher divisions even. How tough of a decision was it for you to leave the hometown behind?
No, it was never my intention to leave. Certainly not at that point. I thought I'm probably not going to spend my entire career here, but I just signed a 3-year deal, and my first daughter had been born on the Wednesday, and on the Friday night I got a phone call to say I've just accepted a bid from QPR for you. So my hand was forced a little bit. Chris Powell sort of said, if you're not happy, you can stay. But when you know that the club are accepting an offer, you think it's time. And it probably was time anyway. When I look back now, I think I spoke to coaches that mentioned if you start to get a bit comfortable in your environment, it's probably time to look for a new challenge, and that was probably the case for me. And it worked out in the end, and I'm thankful I did go down there.
Because you had a fairly similar, you obviously backwards, you ended here rather than starting here, but you were in Cardiff, you were in London, and two Huddersfield lads going and spreading their wings in so bad. Yeah,
well, like you're saying there, sometimes it's you get the offer to go places, and you've got to take it, whether you want to go or the club don't want you anymore. It's just the way your football path's taking you, and it's nice to be able to play for your hometown. Because I got linked with coming here for about 12 seasons before I actually came here, so it's nice, but it's the football journey. You never really know what's going to happen one season to the next, so you've just got to get on with it.
Well, like my situation there, I just signed a new deal, and you're still never certain that you're going to stick around.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the path of a footballer. It's just uncertainty for 20 years if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're very lucky.
You spent a long time at every club you're at, though. Did you feel that you were always better when you were more settled somewhere?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think it took me probably 3 to 6 months before I really started showing what I could do at QPR. Rob Green was in the team at the time, and he was meant to be signing for West Ham. So I went and signed, and he'd already said bye to the lads, and they told me I was playing at the weekend, and then his deal fell through. So then I had to bide my time a little bit, and that sort of knocked me back a little bit, because I was thinking I'm going to go straight in, I'll be able to settle quickly, and then I sat on the bench for a few months before I got my chance. So it did take a little bit of time. I think something similar happened when I went to Cardiff, because Neil Etheridge won Player of the Season in the Premier League for us. And I felt like I was doing all right in training and in the games that I played, but I was never going to get him out of the team when he was playing so well. So it took me a little bit of time, but thankfully at both those clubs I managed to get in and had some quite good spells there.
You're always really well liked by supporters everywhere you've been as well, because it's something we always know, we keep an eye on our own when they go elsewhere, and QPR fans always speak highly of you, Cardiff fans do as well. That must mean a lot to you that you've always been a favourite where you've been.
Yeah, it's been nice. I mean, I think until I came back with Cardiff, and Fraser got me booed by the entire stadium. I don't know if you remember the game. We were playing here, and I was time wasting. We were winning 1-0.
Right, yeah.
And it was late on. I think you ended up beating us in the last minute, and I was taking forever to get rid of the ball. And Fraser's on the referee, and before you know it, the entire stadium is booing me. I'm thinking, cheers, Fraser. I think it's probably why I've not been invited back.
Time wasted.
It's part of the game for keepers.
That was my best attribute, I think.
For you as well, there were always links back to the club, how realistic they were or not, in the media. Were there ever a temptation for you to ever try and come back at any point?
I think there was when I was leaving QPR, there was a little time where I'd spoken to the goalkeeping coach, and there was a possibility of it, but it just never quite materialised. And Cardiff came in and sort of the first in, and I had friends there. Wardy was there, and a few other players that I played with, Sean Morrison and people like that.
Yeah.
And Neil Warnock was ringing me every day to come along. So that's the path that I chose.
So how did you have Neil at QPR as well?
I had him for a little spell, yeah. So I've had all those managers that people talk about. So like Stanton and Ian Holloway, Mick McCarthy, Warnock. I've had them all. Yeah, could write a book just on those guys.
You got a favourite out of them at all?
It's not under the cosh, is it? No.
I had Warnock at Crystal Palace, and you do your pre-ab before you go out to training, and not every morning, but most mornings, be in the gym with one of them sweatbands on a cross trainer, like, what is he on banner here? And then doing planks for like a minute, like just trying to keep fit, but he didn't have the physique, like he was on top of it.
I may or may not have taken a sneaky video at QPR, have him with his headband on and his sweatbands on his wrists. Now I'm retired. I'm willing to sell it to the high.
Release it.
None of that's changed, by the way. That was still the case when he was here. But he's fantastic. For you, what's Cardiff like? Because obviously when we go, we're grown because it's like a 5-hour drive, whatever. You got to go South Wales and forever away, and it's a night over and everything. But when we go, it's the busiest town centre we always see. It's the lads enjoy themselves plenty. Your producer Ollie was out till whatever time last time we went before. We had an early kick-off, as he should be at his age. What's it like to live there and do everything? Because it feels like you can't escape anything. Everything must be on top of you.
You're asking me?
No, either of you.
You both played there.
You both played more games for Cardiff than I have.
It's a great city, but you're right. It's just a nightmare to get to and from. So once you're down there, there's loads of stuff to do, and obviously when I was there, it was the first time we got to Premier League. There's a buzz around the city or whatever. The fans took to me, great people, but it's just like saying, it's 4 hours to get home, and I'm a person that likes to see my family a lot, and it was just hard work, to be honest. But great city.
Did you never move them over to Cardiff then?
Yeah, well, obviously my wife and kids and that were
right,
but I mean, like
mum.
my brother, my sisters, you know what I mean, my close family, you didn't get to see them that as often.
I think it must be something with being from Huddersfield. We always want to get back to Huddersfield.
Yeah, I just want to check on everyone, see if they're all right.
Because I was the same. When I left QPR, so that was like I lived in Windsor, it was like 3 hours 20 minutes, and I said to my wife, right, next move, we're going closer to home, like we'll still probably live away from home, but it might be 2 hours away or whatever. And then I thought, sign for Cardiff, and it's like on a bad day it could be like 5.5 hours.
Yeah, shocking.
But the city, I love the city. We moved there, spent 4 years there, and the people were great. Like when I was in Windsor, I didn't know any of my neighbours, didn't speak to anyone, no one spoke to us. And then you had this little community in Cardiff, like everyone's so friendly. It was a great place to live, and I thought rugby had been massive there, which it is, and I thought that I'd take over football, but football's huge there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive, and the people are so passionate. I loved it. The people are class.
It's a strange city as well, because you go down the main high road and then there's a castle at the end of the road and stuff, isn't there? Like next to stuff. It's
Campbell's Castle.
Is it Campbell?
They renamed it.
They did. Last time we went there was a photo of you in the bin.
No. It was.
With that though, because it's funny you mentioned that. I don't know if you remember this. We saw you on the motorway once. We were going away somewhere, and you were driving into Leicester.
Oh,
you
must have been you must
have been commuting at that point into Leicester from here.
Yeah. So after I left Cardiff, we decided we're going to get my kids were already in school in Wales, but we're going to move back home so the kids could settle and know that we're not moving again. So I said, well, I'm just going to have to deal with it, commute, stay away a few nights a week or whatever. So my options were Sunderland or Leicester. So it was like, I'm travelling, but I remember seeing Dave and you guys in the services.
Yeah.
And that was like my daily thing, like 4 hours in the car most days. It's a nightmare, but things you got to do to make sure that the family is settled and in one place.
Keeping Costa afloat on your drives.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's hard work, but you got to do it.
Have you ever commuted anywhere?
Yeah, to Hull.
To Hull.
Yeah, when I moved to Hull, it was like.
Why didn't you want to move to Hull? Fraser?
Because when I the main reason. I signed really late, so the season was about to start. And similar to you, like I wanted to get my kids into school. I don't know any schools in Hull, so I just thought the easiest. I've got a house in Huddersfield already. It was just easy to put them in school here, and I'll just deal with. That's when I first started drinking coffee. I never drank coffee before in my life.
Yeah.
But getting up and driving at 7 for an hour and 40 minutes every day, I thought I need something, and that was the most legal option.
Does it have a knock-on effect to how you train or anything, or do you get used to it after a while? Because that's a lot of time to be sat in your car.
I think because I think I was about 30 at the time, and at first
So it's about 10 years ago.
No, it was last week. At first, it was it's all new and you're fine, and then after a while, it's like your back starts to ache, and then I start getting. We had a little carpool, so I'd drive to. Escape, and a few lads would meet me there, and I'd be laid in the back just trying to keep my back, but you just deal with it, like I said. The drive home was always worse because obviously you finished training, you've been up early and you were just shattered, and there was always traffic, especially if it was a Friday or a Monday. It was hard work, but it was worth it.
I think when I was at Leicester, a lot of lads had drivers, and drivers weren't in my budget. So I was laughing actually because I was driving to and from every day, and you know Johnny Evans, don't you?
Yeah.
Johnny's a good pal of mine from my time at Leicester, and he's got this driver that he's had every day, back and forth. And one day he's driving home from training, and his driver's crying, and Johnny's like tight with him, and he said, "Everything all right?" He said, "No, I've just had some devastating news. I've had some family that's passed away overseas." Johnny says, "Right, pull over." Johnny stuck him in the back. Johnny started driving. Johnny's offering water. Went for a drive-through with him. Johnny's in the drive-through with his chauffeur car, and he's getting him a Costa coffee. Well, that was what the lads were doing. They had drivers and they were sleeping in the back. I was slacking.
Danny Simpson was there as well, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
From the.
It's a different world, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I
had a Viano, but I didn't drive it.
There you go.
What a world. Were you at the new training ground at Leicester?
Yeah, NASA headquarters.
How good is that?
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, because when I came through Huddersfield, we started off at Stores Hall.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a bit of a difference where you
played
started
up there, academy games and stuff.
Porter cabins and like away teams had punched through the walls.
Yeah.
And they were freezing, and you had a long walk down, and then. This training ground's unbelievable. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
I've not seen it.
Does it make a big difference to like your day to day that you're almost like looking forward to going in and spending?
Yeah,
time?
I was. Yeah, because training was my job.
Yeah,
I was making the most of it. Yeah. Check out the gym. Yeah, I'm not bothered about the King Power.
Sauna and swimming pool and stuff.
Oh, honestly, mate, it's worth searching for. It's got everything.
Yeah.
Who had the best training ground that you played for?
Obviously, Man United was top.
Was it Carrington then?
Yeah. Spurs was rubbish.
That's the old
That's
Spurs
before,
lodge, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sunderland's top notch. Palace was alright, probably similar to Towns now. Yeah, I'd say Sunderland and United.
Sunderland, I remember Sunderland being class. That we played academy games up there.
Yeah,
that was unbelievable.
It's windy as hell up there.
Yeah.
But the facilities, like after games, you get in a pool, sauna, steam.
You don't really want to go home after it because there's so much you can do in there.
Yeah, you train for a couple of hours and then you spend a couple of hours just.
Sounds like a David Lloyd.
It basically was. If they could have had the public outside and a DJ.
We've got the public at ours. They're used to it.
In class.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really good. It makes a massive difference because lads want to spend more time there, and they're spending more time there. They're looking after themselves, aren't they?
Yeah.
Alex, one of the things I wanted to ask you about as a goalkeeper, your first goalkeeper we've had on here, is that position has a reputation for having weirdos.
Strong word.
Well, it's a
I
word
don't know.
that
I don't know. Has it?
I've never
It's
heard
a bit
that.
crazy.
Where have you
that.
heard that, right?
you told me. But it's a strange thing. It's an individual position between in a team sport. People are doing their best to leather a football like you all do. What back in the day? What made you want to be a goalkeeper?
I didn't. What goalkeeper wants to be a goalkeeper? Everyone wants to be a forward like Fraser, but no, you get what you're given. I wanted to be involved, and that's where they put me. Now I was always big and fairly athletic, so it's probably where I was most suited. And at the time, I loved diving around in the mud and wild kid, off the rails, and then you realise that you've got to do that for the next 20 years.
It's mental, isn't it? Because obviously everyone loves football, and the art of football is scoring the goals and whatever. But as a keeper, you're doing everything to stop all the good stuff. So you're like anti-football.
Someone asked me about yesterday, what's it like? Like, a good day at the office is not being at fault for something. A good day at the office for you is scoring a hat-trick or a last-minute winner. Or, so it is. You have to be a bit daft to do that. I mean, look back now and think.
The majority of keepers that you meet, they've all got a screw loose. There's a couple that are just bearing normalish, like you're a normalish keeper. Joe Hart was talking about normalish, but there's a lot of them out there that you just, I don't know.
It's a strange thing though.
Yeah.
But even like the routine's completely different to team. Like one of the things that always surprises me, no matter how many games I go to, is how early you come out to warm up, because you're effectively getting ready to then help the other lads warm up, and you're doing your own routine. You head in early. Psychologically, how do you get used to that and stuff? Because you can obviously be mates and tight with everything else, but it's a completely different sport, isn't it? What you're doing.
Yeah, it's like it's a sport within a sport, and you're not doing what everyone else is doing, so you have to train differently, you have to prepare differently. Like it is so different. That last piece of the jigsaw for the team, they go out and play and try and win the game. You're trying to stop the other team from winning, so it's completely different mindset.
I think that's probably why you're all so close as well. The goalkeepers union and whatnot, they're doing everything together because they're on not a different journey, but it's slightly. Do you know what I mean? Like you just said.
I think you guys go out to train, and there might be 22 lads in a training session with one coach taking that session. Whereas we'll go out and there might be 3 goalkeepers with a goalkeeping coach. Like you talk, you spend a lot of time together, you get close, and you understand how difficult it is for the other people as well. So you have to back each other. Sometimes it can feel like the world's against you.
Have you ever been in a goalkeepers union where you've not got on?
Yeah. You know it, yeah. No, but he wasn't part of the union.
His membership got revoked.
Yeah, no, I'm not naming any names today.
But did you ever fancy coaching or anything, Alex? Was that ever anything that had crossed your mind? Because obviously you're doing something else with your life now after you've hung them up. But was that something you wanted to do, or even youth stuff or anything like that?
Early part of my career, I considered becoming a goalkeeping coach, but the way football's gone now, I think there's just over-analysis on everything. I remember we had a meeting with Enzo Maresca at Leicester, and he's an amazing manager. He's clearly done very well. And we spent half an hour talking about how we're going to defend their goal kicks. And I walked out of the meeting thinking, I've not listened to any of that. I've just been planning what I've been going to have for my team. Thinking this isn't for me, because that's what you have to do now.
Yeah. It's so
something similar. It's over analysing. Like we when Carlos Corbran was here, we'd call them compacts. So you'd have a little meeting with him on the bus down to the hotel or whatever. Yeah. So he'd call you up. And it could be 5 minutes, it could be 45 minutes, sat at the front of the bus looking at your clips. Yeah. Could be clips from training, could be clips from games, could be clips from some random person in Europe playing a game. Like, oh, you wanted to do this, and just sat on the bus like.
Do you not think it's information overload though?
Yeah, for me, 100%, because like you're similar, coming from a time where you might have one meeting a week.
Yeah.
We're playing this team, this is how they play, this is my team, and that's it.
I think for me, I always respond better to simple message. If you start giving me loads of information, you start questioning yourself. If you've got 3 points to go into the game thinking about tactically, then I'll get them right. If you give me 100 and there's tons of different variables, you start to sort of second guess yourself.
Like the one that used to throw me was the corners. So if this person takes a corner, and it's an in-swinger, you're here. But if this person takes a corner, it's an out-swinger, you're stood here. And if this person goes up to this place, then you need to go over here. And if they leave 3 at the back, then we need to put someone. I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm out. Just put me in a space.
Yeah, you need to go out with your pad and paper in your pocket.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute, ref. Let me just ask the manager where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
So time on the grass, I think I'd probably enjoy coaching. I like helping other people, and I feel like, especially in that department, goalkeeping, I've got stuff to offer, but I just couldn't put myself through the endless hours of watching clips, because I'll be honest, I don't find it all that interesting anymore. No. I enjoy the competition and getting a sweat on, but watching, because I speak to mates that are coaches now, and leaving the training ground at 10 o'clock because they've been watching the last 3 games of the opposition, and it's just not for me.
Middle part of the podcast, so welcome to the SBK Bet Builder. Alex, we're going to ask you a couple of quick fire questions in between our regular conversation. We're going to start with a memorable goal from your career. It could be one that you scored or assisted.
I think we know where we're going with this. It's got to be the playoff final. Penalty. It's technically not a goal because it won't go down on the stats,
it counts,
but
it counts.
I'm counting it.
What was going through your mind at that time? Is it leather it? Are you thinking placement, or is it nerves? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I wonder if I can kick this ball so hard that it breaks the net. that's what I did.
It worked. Next one is a memorable assist from your career.
I'm struggling as a goalkeeper to find assists, to be honest, but I remember assisting the opposition a few times. I'm going to go with Anthony Knockaert. The ball got cut across and he sort of back-heeled it, and it's like flicked up onto the crossbar, and it's then hit me on the back of the head and gone in, so it was technically an own goal, but it went down as his goal. So I'm claiming the assist.
Yeah, fair play.
How gutting is that for you as a keeper? Obviously, you can see the funny side of it now, but when stuff like that happens where you can't do anything about it, are you able to put it out of your mind, or are you absolutely fuming?
No, I'm not fuming about that. That's just a freak accident. It happened to John Ruddy twice in one game. I remember when he was at Norwich, so it happens. It
happens as part of the job. And then the last one is a memorable card or foul from your career, please.
The only one that I can say stands out is the last game of the season away at Blackpool in the Championship, and their fans ran on the pitch just after half time, and their player was already on a yellow, basically caught the ball in the halfway line, but it was a second yellow, he was going to be sent off. It was 0-0. The game got abandoned, and had the game continued and he'd been sent off and we'd have won, we'd have finished above Leeds in the table, and they never replayed the game. So
it was a really odd one, that, wasn't it? Because they were, fan in a wheelchair doing wheelies in halfway and everything. Obviously, there's stuff going on at Blackpool at that point when genuinely you can watch the footage. What was going on at Blackpool at that point weren't nice, but it was a really odd situation for us as the opposition to be, wasn't it?
It's just a wild club, isn't it? It's just a wild club, yeah.
Pleasure Beach.
Yeah.
On Mendel.
Perfect. Alex, thank you so much for that. And as always, for the best Huddersfield Town odds and the Bet Builder odds, visit sbk.com. You must be 18 plus, and please gamble responsibly. Oh, I wanted to ask you about your full debut. Obviously, you had to come on late on against Southend away when we were getting beat, but Leeds in a full debut for a lad from Huddersfield, an academy graduate. What were that like?
That was a baptism of fire. Because I think at the time, we had Simon Eastwood at the club as well as goalkeeper, who's at Oxford now, and he's had a good career, top goalkeeper. He was playing ahead of me in the youth team, so I played down in the under-16s for my first year as an apprentice. So I'd not played through the reserves or anything, and then because of the circumstances, I ended up getting thrown in that game. So I wasn't ready for it by any means. But I think what it did do was showed me the level that you need to get to, and I think that experience sort of was one of the main drivers to why I got in the team at 18 as being selected rather than just circumstantial. So it was tough at the time, probably knocked me back a little bit, but being able to get in the team young, I think is a lot stems from having that experience early on, being exposed to it when I wasn't ready for it.
A lot of goalkeepers will blossom and play later on rather than starting as early as you did. Why do you think that is, and why do you think you were different in that regard?
I think that's certainly got something to do with it. Exposure to the level. You know what you need to get to, and just the drive. I had doubters at the time, and I wanted to prove people wrong. So remember my parents having a conversation when I left school, like, these are your competition, and it was the first team goalkeepers, the reserve goalkeepers, those were your competitions, you need to be better than them. So it wasn't a case of waiting for my turn, it was how can I get in front of them now? And I knew that I had to do that to have a proper career, because Huddersfield were in League One at the time, and unless I'm in that team young, I'm not going to have the career that I expect or want to have. So I was incredibly driven as well, and I made it clear to the goalkeeping coach that I want to be involved.
You played against Leeds a few times. Obviously, our rivalry with Bradford's returned this season as well. Did you ever play against them?
I did. I think I played in a cup game. I think Naki Wells scored, and he reminded me about it all the time. I don't remember the result, but that's probably not a good thing. No, I don't think I did play against them. I saw the game the other day, though. I mean, that was an unbelievable day for the club.
Much needed as well after the away game. But how much extra does it mean when you play against the local teams? Because we know how much fans get into it, but everyone's mates outside of it. As soon as you start talking about football, it's different. But we're working with people who are Bradford fans, who are Leeds fans, and all that. It means a lot, doesn't it? Yeah,
it means a lot. I think it probably means. We sort of isolate ourselves from that. I mean, I was certainly quite private, and never on social media. I sort of kept to myself. So I tried to avoid all that and just carried on doing my job. It's easier said than done sometimes, but you see how important it is to the fans. I played in one of my first games for Cardiff was against Swansea, so I see that rivalry, and it's some massive games out there. And they're exciting games. There's a lot to be. They're not games that are moved over quickly. Fans talk about them for time to come.
It's bragging rights, isn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as there's a derby going on and your team beats the other team, you straight on your phone.
I'm going to say you're the opposite of Alex. You're a wind-up merchant.
No, I can't wait for it.
I've got Swansea fans and everything.
I've got dates in my calendar when the derbies are on, and I'm ready to text certain people. Just let them know that we beat you. Class.
Were you that way when you were at Cardiff and everything?
I think I was like that from birth. My uncle was a Bradford City fan.
Right.
So not my uncle here, my other one, and he's battered it. Fantastic.
But that's what football's about at the end of the day.
Because it's a game at the end of the day, isn't it? It's not that serious, but it's serious. But it's not that serious. And if I can, if I said to you earlier, we got you dressed this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Wind you up. Yeah. Regardless if I think your outfit's fantastic or not. Can we do a poll on that? By the way, after. See what the viewers think.
Yeah, we can do, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Just to get a reaction, get under someone's skin. I don't really care for your outfit. I'm not bothered if it looks good or not.
Thank you.
You're happy with it.
I've got an opinion on it, though, aren't you? Just let people know.
I'm just giving an example. You know what I mean? Just winding people up, and that's what I enjoy doing.
You thrive from it.
I thrive, yeah.
Cheers, mate. You both obviously played for the national team as well, Alex, at underage levels. You as well, Fraser. What's that sort of experience like? What's it like getting your head around getting called up, going to play and train alongside all the best lads in country at your age level?
For me, it's just pride. I was so excited to go challenge myself in that environment as a kid playing at Stars Hall, and now I'm looking at the names and the teams that these lads are coming from. It was a proper privilege, and I really enjoyed it. I remember playing the Under-17 World Cup, and I was away in South Korea for 5 weeks. So what an opportunity for a young lad, and I think he had a big part to play in confidence. I think these people backed me to select me for the national team. I'm at a League One club. It was unbelievable. I don't know what your experience was like.
It was like the same. Pride. When you're a kid, you're growing up, you're dreaming about playing for the club that you support, playing for England, and that was just a step in the right direction. You're mixed with all kids from, like saying, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, all in one team, and you're regarded as one of the best youngsters at that age in the country. So it's great. You get to the tournaments, like Alex is saying, and it's a real honour to represent your country. I'd love to see what it's like now, though, because I feel like now everyone's more connected. Obviously, we didn't have social media back then, so I didn't really know what the Charlton under-16s were doing or the Chelsea under-16s were doing, but now they all seem to be mates, and I think it's helping the first team, isn't it? Everyone's it's the rivals, but not really. There's more mates now, whereas I, probably similar to you, didn't know what the Arsenal boys were doing day to day. Just only when we met up for England.
Who was in your England age groups? Is there anyone that sticks out at all?
Yes, I think it was like Kyle Walker, Danny Welbeck. It was sort of that era there, 1990 year group. So there was a good group of lads that all went on to have brilliant careers. Like some of them unbelievable international careers at senior level. People I stay in touch with now as well. So some good relationships formed at the time. So it's exciting. It's also strange that you see some people drop out of the game that've never played a game. So at first team level. So. Yeah. It's there's quite a range of what people go on to do with their careers.
Yeah. Could you tell even at that age that somebody like Kyle Walker is different level, that sort of stuff?
Someone like him, perhaps, yeah. But there were some surprises. Like the best players in my team, certainly the Victory Shield year, that's like under 16s, who were the most talked about people in the country. They didn't have proper careers. If I mentioned their names now, you wouldn't know who they were.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like someone like Danny Welbeck was just worked hard.
Yeah.
Was a brilliant pro, gone on and had an unbelievable.
Still plays in Premier League now.
Yeah, what a career! And he sort of went under the radar in them sort of age groups, but you see what he's going on to do now.
Yeah. Do you think it's underrated how much? It's not just about pure talent then, how much attitude and application are a part of it? Is that the sort of conversations you guys have when younger lads ask you for tips and how to make the most of their careers?
I think me and you are a little bit old school like that. We know that. I think you see these lads now that are being rewarded so much so soon.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't know how you would react. I wasn't paid the money they're being paid when they're still schoolboys and 16, 17.
Yeah. And they've got 1 million followers on Instagram and they've played 3 games in the under-18s, do you know what I mean? So it's a lot to deal with, but back in our time it was, you had to graft. It wasn't talent alone was never enough, but now it's just like you get too much thrown at you and you think, well,
I'm speaking to a mate at a club that's playing now, and there's a really young lad playing for the team, and he says the club are scared of him. He turns up late for meetings, he does what he wants, and the club don't do anything because they know in 2 years' time they're going to sell him for a fortune. Yeah. And I think that would have never stood. And I don't think that behaving like that around the player is in their best interest at all. It's become a well-rounded person after they've made it or after the football careers. But that seems to be the way football's going.
It's crazy.
Do you think the big difference is culturally between your time and is it just being online and social media and that sort of a thing? Is that the major difference between?
I think that's what gets noticed more. So then more people are talking about them. So like our day, you'd have a kid playing. I don't say he was at Huddersfield Town doing really well. People around Huddersfield would know he's doing really well, but people down in London have a clue what's going on. But now you're doing really well. You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I've seen, so my kids play now, I've seen some parents filming everything their child's doing and it's on TikTok and they're trying to coach them while they're playing. It's just like, just farming out the kids, they're just trying to make as much money because they get paid for it from Instagram and YouTube and whatnot. So you can see why people are doing it. But I think it gives the kids too much too soon and it puts a lot more pressure on them. And it's,
I understand from the business perspective, the clubs have to pay them to keep them.
Yeah.
But I think how they're treated at the club and how sort of senior pros treat them, how coaches treat them, you can raise better young people than just giving them everything and telling them they're brilliant. There has to be some balance, and I think that we sort of came through the back end of the old school culture. I'm thankful for that.
We're lucky because we've seen both sides of it and see where it's changed and stuff. Like I remember getting on the team bus and having to go news agents and get the Sun and the Daily Star and that just for the older players and making the teas at the back. But now everyone's just like this.
When I got in the team, I think I played about 4 or 5 games, and we played Southend away and we won 1-0, and I saved the penalty in the last 10 minutes. I was like sky high. As soon as I got on the bus, Marty Glennon's telling me to go and make coffees for the card table because he was 27 and I was 18. Yeah. And it was like, you've this has happened, and you will get praised for it outside, but within here you're still a young lad and you still got to prove yourself. I'm quite thankful for that now. But I don't think that happens anymore.
For you now then, and away from the game and everything, and obviously working with players and stuff now, how much are you enjoying getting some of your life back? Because it's something that we've talked to Fraser about, especially around Christmas a couple of months ago. he's looking forward to his turkey dinner. He's going around with family. You were going to a Christmas night out as soon as he left here. Is it nice to just kind of have a bit of your own time back as well?
Yeah, I think every retired footballer talks about freedom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's freedom, because a lot of people think you go to training and you come home and then that's it. You don't work a great deal of hours.
A day,
but it's all consuming. It's everything you think about. It's how you're preparing between training the next game or whatever it might be. Going to the supermarket, making sure that people are seeing you in the supermarket, you're doing the right things. You can't go and put a bar of chocolate in your thing, walking next in, you got a game the next day. It's like all consuming. I just think I'm free now. I love it. I mean, I enjoy my career. I absolutely loved it, but I'm loving life now too, to be honest.
That's good.
It's a bit of balance as well, because you started so young as well. That's sort of a period of your life that you can't get back, but you can sort of let loose a little bit more now, and spend a bit more time with the family and do those things that you might have. The travel and the time away is the thing that I don't think people fully get their head around, because especially modern times now, you're travelling night before every single away game, regardless of where it is. Even some managers will have you in a home game in a hotel and stuff like that. There's a lot of time away, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think people forget as well that you didn't start playing football when you was 18. You started when he was 8 or 6, do you know what I mean? So it's been a long journey just to get to the point where people know who you are. So you've got to put in the hours of dedication, the training and stuff.
I came into train at Huddersfield when I was 7, and that was 3 times a week and games. And
it's a lot.
It was a big focus for me then
as well as schooling and socially, family life and stuff. It's a lot.
Yeah, it can provide a great life, but there are sacrifices that have to happen, and incredibly fortunate to be rewarded like we were, but we sacrificed quite a bit that I'm trying to get back now, and trying to enjoy my life, be a bit more present around my kids. I think for 2 years, 4 hours in the car driving to Leicester, by the time I got home I was just a zombie. And just being present and spending quality time with them, having the freedom to book holidays when I want, and I retired a week before Christmas.
Making me smile this.
A week before Christmas I retired, and I'd not experienced Christmas. I thought I had.
Is this Santa guy on?
Yeah, it was class.
Decent guy, it was class.
That's good to hear. And it's interesting you mentioned starting here when you were 7, because past couple of years we've obviously opened the academy back up, and we've got young lads back in here and everything, and it's been so well received by supporters and obviously the young families and young people that are in it. For you, as a local lad, as much as anything, are you happy that that's available to people again? That there could be the next Alex Smithies, who's 7-year-old coming into Huddersfield Town, he's down at Canalside, and 15 years he could be as number 1.
I think as long as you're not looking at it as that, as long as the club are not seeing it as that, this 7-year-old, we might be able to sell him for £5 million. As long as they're seeing it, we're giving these kids a platform to develop and enjoy football, then that's amazing. Like, the kids will be proud that they played for the hometown club, whether they make it or not. It's kind of irrelevant at that age. It's where the clubs start seeing it as, this is our business model. Stockpile kids, hopefully some of them make it, and then we'll sell them. I don't necessarily think that's the right thing to do from a personal level. As a business level, I get it. But for me, it's brilliant the academy's up and running. I love my time playing in the academy. I was dead proud of it at the time, and there'll be kids out there that are doing the same now, so it's exciting.
You were obviously good enough to play for our academy, Fraser. You obviously did.
You
got overlooked at that point.
Yeah, I could only get to my
Do you remember
BT,
do you remember, this is a long time ago now obviously, but do you remember being 7 and finding out that you were coming here? What was that like?
Yeah, I remember coming to a game, and I'd just been and trained down on Leeds Road, and they give me this top, and it was like, I was dead proud I'd give me this top, and I looked at it and it was like an adult's medium or something. It's like down to my knees, but I was buzzing at the time. I was thinking, this is class, get a kit. Get a kit out of it. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Do you have a ball boy or anything like that?
Yeah, I did it all that. Yeah, ball boyed all the time. Yeah, loved it.
Was that'll have been here as well?
Yeah.
So it's crazy, isn't it, to think that you'll have been doing all that and then you were number 1 in middle. Does that ever go through your head when you're playing a game or anything like that? Do you ever look at a ball boy or something and go, out of me 10 years ago or something?
To be honest, no, but I I didn't. I was too focused on the game. But when you're walking out and you see how excited the kids are, and everyone's desperate for their lad or their daughter to come out and walk out with the team, those sorts of things, you see how special it is for people.
I think once you retire, you start looking at them things, thinking, "Oh yeah, that was good." But when you, like I said, when you're
can't
in
see
the
mud
moment,
for trees when you're in the middle of it.
when you're in the moment, you just carrying on with your job. It's just another day. But
I don't think we consider a lot of things when we're playing, because
no, you don't.
it's not until you step away and you see from the outside what other people are seeing, you get to appreciate it. I never really look back on my career at all. I don't have sort of anything around the house
until we started asking you questions about
it. But it's nice now. I think a lot of stuff's quite raw when you're in the mix, because there's so many highs and lows. You kind of just want to focus on the next thing. Now I'm quite happy to talk about it and look back.
I just wanted to go back and talk about the playoff final in 2012 again, because that penalty shootout was obviously amazing, but it's come full circle a little bit for us as well, because Chris Markham's back at the club. He's sporting director now. He's an analyst back then. He's obviously well known for the penalty work he did with England when he went to the FA, but you're saying that he's stolen a little bit of your credit from that final.
Yeah, well, Chris has done great what he's doing. I think it'd be absolutely brilliant for the club to do what he's done to build his way up and work with the national teams and go to Bolton, come here. Like, fair play to him. You can tell he's brilliant what he does. I'm still friends with him now, so I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. But yeah, I did read an article where.
Do you want to look into the camera for this bit? Are you directing straight at him, or?
No, I won't. I read an article where he was taking credit for Pickford writing the penalty takers and where they expected to go on the ball. Now, that came from the playoff final. We did that, and I hid my ball in a towel. And me and John Vaughan, the goalkeeping coach at the time, I'll give credit to John Vaughan, in fact. He came up with the idea. Chris was analyst at the time. And he then took that to England. England obviously had some success in shootouts since then. And he's off the back of it. He's now back at Huddersfield. Chris.
Interesting.
We'll give him a chance to reply.
You can do. Yeah,
we'll ask him for a response.
Obviously, we know you scored the penalty then, but it's fresh in his head because of the Champions League the other night with the Benfica goalkeeper scoring. You must have gone up late in games. Did you ever get close to scoring yourself?
Yeah, what a waste of time me going up for a corner was.
You know what would be good if we get the clips of you going up? Or
do you know, I have got a picture. I think we played Barnsley, and I think Wardy was on a corner. Wardy was a winger at the time, Danny Ward, and he crossed one in, and it's coming to me. I'm like free. No one picked me up because I've come up late, and it's mine. But because I'm so used to judging,
catching it,
honestly, the ball. I've gone up to try and head it, and honestly, if I'd have sorted my feet out, it was there for me. The ball was a yard above my head because I'm used to catching it. But there's a picture, and it looks like I've got my hands in my pockets. And my hands are like that. It's unbelievable. They're like a penguin. It's unbelievable. And then I've had another time at QPR, and Ian Holloway, it was a great chance, again, useless in front of goal. That's why I'm a goalkeeper. And he came out and called me Toblerone head after it. Oh, he's not far off. Yeah, he's not. He won't wrong either.
Oh, wow. Do you ever go opposite, Fraser? Did you ever go in goal at all? Do you ever, when you were younger, or messed about in training? No? Too much like hard work for you?
Yeah, no, I like to shoot in. So shooting, I never went in there.
Were there any goalkeepers in your career that particularly stood out that you enjoyed training against or playing with? Were there? Because obviously you two have had very similar careers but never played with each other.
The rubbish ones.
Yeah, the really bad ones were always good. I had a lot of banter with Joe Hart because he was in the same age as me, England team. So every camp we'd have, we'd do penalties at the end of the session. So then when we went to the tournaments, the manager would have his penalty takers in the list. And obviously we played against him a lot in the youth team against City. So it was just a bit of banter. Like, you take 4 or 5 penalties in a row, and then obviously normally I'd hit it to my left, but because he'd see me take 3 to my left, I'd be like, oh my god. So it was just all mind games, but yeah, it was good times.
I enjoyed that sort of thing. I did it with James Madison at Leicester. He used to say to me, "Give me abuse."
Yeah.
So it was my favourite part of the day. Like, after training, he'd like hammer him like whilst he was running up to it. And he was just trying to ignore me the entire time, and I was trying to get in his head about his hairline and all sorts. I was on him. But it was class.
For a keeper, what are you looking for when a penalty's coming up? Is it guesswork, or can you read body language? What's your technique? What are you going?
I would do my research certainly, but I think one thing. This is going to sound mad, but I used to go the way I wasn't expecting him to go.
Right.
So whatever my mind's telling me,
Yeah.
he's going to do the opposite. It seemed to work all right.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Remedy.
Was that from day one, or did you have like 10 that went in and you're like, right, I'm going to start doing
It's going to go the opposite, yeah.
I barely had 10 penalties.
You're training it. It means training, obviously. On FIFA.
Yeah, no, I think early part it was more gut instinct, but towards the end, Varney came up with this brilliant idea, not Chris Markham, about putting the names in the side they're going to go on the bottle.
Perfect. Alex, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us and join us. Apologies for Fraser, but he's a nice lad.
Pleasure.
Dressed up for the occasion.
Take this as a invite whenever you want. You're always welcome here. This is your hometown club.
What are you doing now?
But Alex, thanks so much for taking the time.
Pleasure, thank you.
Cheers, Al.